my dears. So nice to see you. Oh, so very nice to see you. Welcome to my little cottage. There are so many dear old friends. Lucy, darling, how are your beautiful chrysanthemums?
Wonderful.
Oh, good. Griselda. Of course, you must tell the vicar how much I enjoyed her sermon on Sunday.
I will do that.
Wonderful. Dolly, I do hope the Colonel has recovered from his cough. Horrible thing to be stricken. My friends, I'm sure all of you would like to say hello to me, but since there are so many of you, why don't we take care of it all together? I shall count to 3, and on the count of 3, you shall shout out all at once. Well, hello, my dear. My, oh my, don't you look lovely today? Are you ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Hello, my dear. My, oh my, don't you look lovely today?
Do you really think so? Shall make an old lady blush. Well, down to business, shall we? As all of you know, just 6 months ago, on August the 7th, 1957, our dear little village of St. Mary Mead was woefully beset by murder. Yes. And a horrible murder it was. Will people never change? Here we are in these modern times, and the human animal is just as cruel and savage as it ever was. Well, my friends, I'm delighted to announce that at last the murder has been solved. And, as is sometimes the case, your dear little friend, Miss Jane Marple, had some slight opportunity of assisting in the investigation. And, now having all the information I did not have at the time, I'm ready to tell the story. Would you like to hear it?
Yes!
Oh, good. Then sit back and pour yourself a nice cup of tea, for I find nothing goes quite so well with murder as a nice cup of tea. So where shall we begin? Of course, it was late in the night, and scattered here and there throughout the village were all of our story's most important characters. My dear friends, can you guess just which 2 of these seemingly innocent people were meeting in secret that night?
The red dress?
These 2 at the garden table. But my friends, can you guess where in the village they were meeting? At the bakery late in the night.
Cynthia,
Yes, Peter?
thank you so much for meeting me here at the bakery at such a late hour.
Yes. I'm rather confused as to why you needed to meet me at such a strange place at such a strange time.
Well, Cynthia, you know, I have asked you to marry me and you said yes so graciously, but I must tell you that I'm afraid to ask your father for his blessing.
Oh, well, you should be very afraid.
My dears, can you guess why he might be afraid to ask for her father's blessing? Sorry, what was that? I can't hear you. My hearing is, I'm a bit old.
It's a French mime.
He's a French mime. You're correct.
He has a tendency, being a mime and all, to put people in boxes. And I know you're so afraid, right, that you'll be put in a box and you won't be able to escape. And then he'll shoot you dead.
Oh.
Well, Cynthia, there's something else that I must confess to you, my love. You see, I know that we have discussed having children, and of course you say either way it is okay with you, but your father's the one who really is demanding for us to be with a family. But the problem is, Cynthia, I recently came back from the doctor, and it appears that I'm infertile.
That's horrible. Oh, that's just awful. Now I might not be able to bear children. You know, I've always wanted children.
Yes, but I was hoping that our love would be greater than...
Oh, Peter, I can't go on with this anymore. I'm not in love with you. I'm so sorry, but I want to have a career.
My dear friends, can you guess what kind of career she would want? Taxidermy.
But
Genius. You know my love for dead animals. You know my tendency to drive a little too fast and run over the borders of squirrels, running around the garden, but now I found that I could be a taxidermist and actually make use of all the dead animals like tentacles. I want to be a professional.
But I would allow you to do anything that you love. And especially now that we cannot have children, it gives you much more free time to stuff animals.
I know it's hard for you to understand, being, well, who you are, a male in these times, and try to understand. Sometimes a person who's a woman does not want to have children. Shocking, I know. Try to breathe. Breathe.
Then this is not just about children, then this is about everything has always been about you. Seems like the apple has not fallen far from the tree as your father.
Well, I don't think it's really fair to bring my father into this. It is not he who has fallen out of love with you, it is I.
I know, but he's a mime, a very strange career, and you wish to become a weird person just like him. I'm trying to...
I'm a creative type.
You'd rather stuff dead animals and have a life with me.
Well, that does say something about you, doesn't it? I'm sorry. I have to go now, but let's keep in touch.
Elizabeth, yeah, come over. Oh, my darlings, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, Beatrice. Well, I've had the most brilliant idea, and I need to share it with you. You see, the other night, I was bird watching on top of the roof. You know how I love to look at the birds with mine. And there was a very special bird I was looking for. Well, I happened to glance upon your house, my love, and I noticed that your husband, Henry, was with Melanie, and he had his mouth on her and his hand on his chest, or her chest, actually. And what I realized in that moment, he knows CPR. Yes, and I thought perhaps that he could teach us CPR here to the knitting club. Wouldn't that be lovely? What a lovely idea. Oh, had I known CPR, my dear Herman would be alive. You see, when I tried to save his life, I smothered him. It was dreadful. I just didn't know what to do. So now that I noticed that your darling husband knows how to do CPR, he does need to come.
Well, now I understand why he's been gone so many evenings. He must have been taking a class. He wanted to surprise me.
Yes.
Oh, he's such a lovely man.
He's so generous with his time.
He is.
Well, darlings, I must say, my husband, you know, with his miming and everything, I believe he's tried this CPR on me before, and it really is, well, it's quite extraordinary. I found that when I am engaged in CPR with him, he talks.
He talks.
My dear friends, can you guess what else overcomes our dear lady when her husband performs CPR on her? What is she feeling? Anything. Say that again? Excitement.
And it's so exciting, especially when we're in the squirrel room. You know, Cynthia's squirrel room, where she has all the little squirrel heads lined up on the. I think before we have the CPR in this parlor, it would be very nice if we had some skunks from Cynthia.
Some skunks?
Yes. Oh, the black and white goes with the miming, of course.
My dear friends, can you guess what our friend here had as a secret she was holding at that moment? What did she have to share with them that she was holding? Yes?
She hates skunks.
She hates skunks.
Dear. Well, it is a very exotic idea. You must realize something, that when I was a child, I was attacked by a posse of skunks. And it is true that not only do they make a foul odor, but they have 52 sharp teeth.
Mama, Mama, look what I just ran over! A skunk! Take it away, Elizabeth!
Oh dear, oh dear. I believe I'm going to have an episode. Oh dear.
Ah, there you are, my friend. Thank you for meeting me here at the pub. Why, it's been a long time since we've hung out together. How long has it been?
Oh, 5 years. You know I don't want to do the act all the time. Henri, my good friend. How are you?
I am doing very well, very well. I have something to tell you, my friend.
What is that?
Well, you know how I've been married for some time, always yearning to have an affair.
I always thought there was a little bit of a Frenchman in you.
Well, I'm finally having an affair with Melody.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Congratulations.
Why, you don't seem happy for me, old chap.
It seems to me that you are rather new at this whole affair having business, for is she not your neighbor?
Well, that's all right. You see, for some time now, I have been spreading a rumor that kissing on the mouth is CPR. Therefore, if anyone sees us kiss, I imagine they'll simply think I'm delivering CPR.
I thought I saw you handing out those pamphlets at the local swimming pool. Very clever, my good man.
Oh, I tell you, the freedom that comes from having just a little something on the side. I don't mean to suggest I don't love my wife, I do, but you know how it is. Day in, day out, the same old thing. I mean, you must suffer from the same type of boredom. Down an imaginary flight of stairs, up an imaginary flight of stairs.
Yes, indeed. Sometimes I do feel trapped. But those days are long behind me. I am happily married. I just wish that my daughter could find the same happiness. I loved having a daughter, but part of me always wanted a son. And wished that I could have a grandson, for you know, in the Royal Académie de Paris de Mime, they only take male students. Have you ever seen a woman mime?
No.
They're called mimettes. They're no good.
I suppose when they walk against their wind, their skirt blows up.
Indeed. Well, also, they can't stay quiet.
Now, our dear friend, the French Hudson, had an awful affliction. Can you guess what it was? Bad breath. Thank you.
I must say, Henri, how much I treasure our friendship.
Well, I care for you very much as well.
Now, don't. 2 drinks, please. And make mine real. I don't want to mind the drinks, too. Please, I'm trying to have a moment here. I want to tell you how proud I am of you, that you found this happiness.
Oh, thank you.
Well, come closer.
Stand in the light over there. Yes.
Everyone in this bar, a cheer to my friend Henry, the best CPR instructor in town.
My friend, there is another reason why I was hoping to meet you here. Please do tell. Well, you see, I am trying to find a little bit of time to spend with Melody. You know, we keep sneaking in our little trysts, and, well, if a relationship like this is going to blossom, I say we need a good amount of time together, 3-4 hours or something, you know?
Indeed.
So, under the watchful eye of my wife, it's terribly difficult to get away. I was wondering if you could visit my wife and cause a distraction. Get her out of the house somehow, so that I could spend just a few blissful hours in the house with Melody.
A distraction, you say?
Yes.
This shall be my greatest performance ever!
Then you
course,
help
my
me.
friend. Yes!
Air hug.
Melody? Darling, what's troubling you?
I've been having breathing problems. And thank goodness I found someone quite capable who has been performing CPR. But every time I don't see him, I feel faint.
Oh, darling, you know, actually, I've been watching you. Well, I've been bird watching, but I've been watching you and Henri for hours, actually. And I think he's quite good at CPR, so I'm surprised that you feel faint right now. Didn't he just leave?
Oh, well, I'm glad you're still watching.
Well, the ladies and I would like to know, actually, we want to invite him over to teach us CPR. But Claire has a problem with nudity, and I told her that every time I saw you, you seemed to have your clothes off. And so we would like not to do that. So could you please tell us what that secret might be that we don't need to unclothe?
Now, I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but the fact that we are clothless is because there's more oxygen that goes into my system, he says, when I have no clothes on whatsoever.
Oh, well, that makes total sense to me then, because, well, oh dear, then I suppose then when we do the knitting circle, we should all take our clothes off.
Oh, dear friends, Melody and Beatrice had a riff in their past. Can you guess what it was over?
Cat.
Same man. Your guess is correct.
Beatrice. Melody.
Ever since you invited me into your knitting circle, I know it was only to cover up the fact that you took little Edward from me all those years ago.
Well, it's a small town, dear, and I'm just trying to be nice. But it was just a social gesture. I don't like you. Thank you.
I don't like you either, Beatrice.
Well, of course you don't.
The nice thing is we can be civil. Now, when I say that you need to be naked in your knitting circle, well then be naked, be free, be free.
Oh, Melody, darling, Melody, Melody, Melody. I have wonderful news.
Oh, I hope so, Henry.
I have arranged for us to be able to spend some time together. And now that we'll be able to spend some time together uninterrupted, there's something that I need to tell you.
I will be fully cured of this horrible ailment of not being able to breathe well.
Melody, all of the times I've been giving you CPR, I've really been making love to you. Yes, you see, I employ just the slightest bit of a white lie in order to get close to you. Because, Melody, I care for you.
Oh. I've been naked in your presence, and I thought it was purely doctor-related.
Well, at that point I was pretending to be a doctor.
Well, you did such a good job. The inspection was so thorough.
You're fine, by the way.
I'm so relieved.
Melody, I know it was a cad-like thing to do, and I'm so sorry, but you must understand, I couldn't think of any other way to get close to you. You're just so beautiful, and every time I look at you or even think of you, I stammer.
Well, you don't need to stammer around me, for I have feelings for you too.
Do you?
I do, but I always want you to play doctor, because it's very sweet, and I feel healthier.
Melody, I have one more confession still then.
What? What is it?
Well, to be honest with you, as deep as my feelings are, I always thought that you and I would remain nothing but an affair on the side of my marriage. But if you really have feelings for me, I'll divorce my wife and you and I can be together for real.
For real?
For real.
It was at this point in the story, my friends, that I had entered. Elizabeth!
Oh, Jane.
Elizabeth, we have been neighbors for 20 years now, and while I don't understand why you would not join my knitting circle, I certainly respect your choices. Nevertheless, I come here bearing some grave news.
Oh dear. What is it?
Well, as you know, when the ladies come together, we share a little bit about the happenings in the town, and we live in such a small village, and well, your husband...
I know. He's learned CPR.
Is having an affair.
What?
I thought it incumbent upon me to tell you the truth, for you know that I can never abide by treachery or lies or murder.
Jane, how do you know such a thing? My husband is a loyal man. He would never do that to me. He's been taking lessons, you see, to learn the medical arts.
Darling, open your eyes. Look, remember, last year when we went sea bathing, and
yes,
there was that woman who was drowning and fell unconscious. Was she unclothed when they was performing CPR on her?
What?
No!
That's correct, yes. Why, I thought that was necessary, though, in the more modern version of CPR.
My darling, you have such a kind, sweet heart. You're reluctant to believe ill of anyone. I understand this, but open your eyes. Confront your husband.
Oh, Jane. Oh, this is horrible. Darling, Jane is just here for a visit. Please.
Miss Marple, lovely as always.
Shall leave you too.
Thank you for your visit, Henry. Please, we have something to speak about.
What is it, darling? You look positively tepid.
Well, come in. I do feel tepid. I feel weak.